Greg, if you were to describe our podcast to a new listener, how would you describe it?
Well, Shane, what I describe it is, it's the hottest podcast that helps you sleep cool.
You screwed it up, man.
Wait, what do you want?
This is the coolest podcast to keep you from sleeping hot.
All right, so this is the coolest podcast to keep you from sleeping hot.
No, you says the hottest podcast to keep you sleeping cool.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, which one is it, Greg? Is it the coolest podcast to keep you from sleeping hot, or is it the hottest podcast to keep you sleeping cool?
It's the hottest podcast to keep you sleeping cool.
I don't know. I think it's the coolest podcast to keep you from sleeping hot.
This thing's smoking hot, and we sleep cool when we're done.
Oh, man, I sleep like a baby thinking about how these episodes turn out.
I'm sleeping like a baby because I got a properly fitted pillow.
Oh. Well, let's talk about that then. Welcome back to Better Sleeping Tonight with Shane and Greg.
Hey, Shane, I'm confused. The other day I went to Stitcher, where I always listen to my favorite podcasts, and you told me to look up our show, and sure as all heck, there it was. What's going on?
Well, Greg, I'll tell you. We are going big. By big, I mean accessibility. We want to reach people far and wide with our show. And being a podcast, after all, I wanted to get us on all of the podcast platforms out there. So if you get your podcast on the Apple Podcast app, Anchor, which is who we publish our podcast through, if you're listening to it on your phone, not through Facebook. We also got it on Pocket Cast. We're also working on getting on Podbean, Spotify. As time goes on, we'll figure out how we got to get it on all those platforms. But you know what? We got it running. We got it on a couple platforms already. So I'm excited.
Wow, Shane, that is just crazy. So, today we're going to talk about pillows, and I think it's one of the most overlooked aspects of sleep. We often say that a pillow is a bed for the head.
It is, and I know that it might sound cheesy, but it really is important. 33% of your support comes from your pillow. And speaking of, are we giving away a pillow yet?
No, Shane, but we're still inching closer and closer. And take the time right now to join us on Facebook. If you haven't already, you can find us there. Facebook.com, Pure Sleep Utica. And give us a thumbs up.
We had a special guest planned for this episode, but unfortunately Greg was sick yesterday, and we had to put off recording the show for today. But Greg, how are you? Are you feeling better today?
Yeah, Shane, with some quality sleep and a doctor, I feel a lot better, and I'm ready to rock and roll.
Awesome. So, Greg, let's talk about first of all being fit for a pillow. You mentioned last week about our experience together with me helping you get fitted for your pillow, and you personally love it. Would you recommend me to a friend?
Absolutely, Shane. You spent a bit of time with me, and it was right when I first was getting started. I didn't know much about pillows. Kind of like you, nobody had ever taken the time to show me and help me find the right one.
All right, Greg, I'm going to quiz you. Do you know what it was about you that helped me determine the right pillow for you?
All right, well, yeah, Shane, because you explained it to me as we went along. Now, I already had my mattress, and I wasn't changing that. So you had to ask me a few extra questions about my existing bed and make sure that you could fit me for a pillow on a similar type of mattress.
Yeah, and you had a semi-plush mattress, if I remember correctly, and you sleep on your right side. So right off the bat, I knew we needed something a little bit thicker, but not too thick. We talked about your existing mattress, and you said it was new, which is why you didn't need to replace your mattress. And it's funny because obviously we work in the store, and we sometimes do get customers that come in just for pillows.
That's correct.
And it may not happen every single day, but a lot of times it's safe to assume when we see someone coming in and we start talking to them, one of the things that I always ask people is, what can I help you find today? And you say something similar, right, Greg?
Mm-hmm.
And people, when people are looking for a mattress, they think we're being funny. But, when they come in looking for a pillow, they go, yeah, we're looking for a pillow, And people overlook the fact that we have sheets, we have pillows, we have protectors. We're more than just mattresses. So now we have headboards, So we really ask that question because we're trying to figure out what's right, what we're trying to find for somebody. So it always makes me laugh when we get thrown I'm looking for a Corvette. Greg, your shoulders aren't very broad. And where I had you lay down on a similar mattress, I was also paying attention to your spinal alignment, including from your shoulders up. And, we looked at that, and you were pretty much in perfect alignment.
Well, I tried out a few pillows, one that was block foam, one that was a shredded material, and the one I decided on that was a down alternative. I didn't want a heavy pillow, and I didn't want something that would sleep hot, but I did want something that I could easily scrunch at an affordable price.
Now, for those who don't know Greg has a torn rotor cuff, so that was the main reason why we didn't go with a heavier type of pillow.
Shane, what type of pillow do you personally have?
I have a shredded memory foam pillow.
What made you go with shredded foam versus a block foam pillow, Shane?
Well, I went with a shredded over block for one particular reason, and that was pressure relief. It costs, it costs a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it's very, very supportive, and it is much better at heat dissipation.
So, Shane, we just talked about the pillows we have. Let's talk about some of the other types of fills used in pillows.
Sounds good. So there are many different types. Down and down alternatives, shredded latex, and block and shredded foam, as well as polyfill. All right, Greg, another quiz for you. Of those, which do you think has the lowest owner satisfaction?
Out of those that we just mentioned?
Yes.
I'm going to have to go with polyfill all day.
I was talking with Aline the other day, and I didn't know this. This is really interesting. Goose down, in order to be considered a down pillow, it only requires 17% of the contents to be made of feathers. Do you want to know what the other 83% can be made of?
No.
Well, it can be beaks or claws or other parts of the bird.
Shane, I thought I said I didn't want to know.
Well, you know what? Now you do.
All right, shredded memory foam is expected to last about 3 to 4 years, gives adequate support, minimal pressure, and is antimicrobial, and is not a natural heat sink. Shredded latex is similar, but is also mildew-proof.
For people who prefer to cuddle their pillow at night, they might prefer a shredded foam pillow, as they tend to be more scrunchable and have less bounce in latex.
Shane, is there any advantages to a block foam pillow versus a shredded foam?
Well, and there's always trade-offs, but there is a couple. If you prefer the contents to stay in one place, single core pillows obviously won't shift. And for us specifically, Greg, for our store, we do have some that are ventilated single core pillows. But unfortunately, one of the major complaints that comes up is that a solid block material pillow sleeps hotter, which is why we have the ventilated ones as well, because that helps take care of and alleviate that concern. So, all right, Greg. So we have already went fairly long for our Facebook followers. We try not to run very long episodes, so we're going to cut off here and give you an idea of what's coming up next week. Now, if you have already subscribed to us on your favorite podcasting app, switch over to there where we continue our conversation and discuss the types of covers used on the types of pillows.
We want to give you all a special thanks for sticking around. And again, if you aren't already a fan, click the like button. Every click we get gets us one step closer to our first giveaway. And as we've already said, we plan on giving away a pillow.
So we still have lots of episodes to come, Greg. But what's the plan for next week?
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's discuss the difference between support and comfort. It's something I think a lot of people get mixed up when searching for a new mattress.
And you know what? We just had a customer that, we were trying to help with that situation. It comes up. There is a huge difference between, the support aspect and the comfort aspect of a mattress. And that might be one of the more useful episodes, I think, that customers will find. And we're going to make that one a bit longer for Facebook and for podcast because there's so much to cover. The poll for this week, let's do how firm is your mattress. We'll do plush or firm. And we'll see how the results go for that. Now, I think we concluded our poll for this week, and it was 60-40. It was, we're only getting, 5 or 6 votes at this time. And again, we want you guys to engage with us. So, we got a result, but, we really want to see you guys vote on this stuff and share it with your friends. In the meantime, guys, we thank you all again for joining us. And for now, have a great night's sleep.